So your first assignment of today, it's about objectives. So you need to define what the objective for your game or gamification system is. And to help you with that, you could write down your own professional playground. I describe it in my book, but I'm going to talk you through it anyway now. So if you draw a big square on a white piece of paper and you draw two axes, I first of all would like to ask you a question, so think about this. What do you think that the most important goal of any company is? What's the end goal of any organization globally? Take some time to think about that. So, what's your answer? If you don't have an answer yet, press pause. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you right now. So the answer is, for most organizations, well, actually all organizations, even non-profit, the main goal is to increase value and lower cost as much as possible. So you could say maximize profit, because profit supports continuous improvement of any organization's continuation. Even non-profit organizations who have to use all profit for good purposes, they also want to have the largest possible playground as they can have. So second question to you right now is, what are the most valuable assets of any organizations globally to achieve that goal? Press pause if you don't have an answer yet. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you. The most important assets of any organizations are machines, of course. Nah, kidding. Not machines, it's people. Here we go again. These are the most important assets of any organization. Basically, they're not assets. You don't own the people. Maybe you own the knowledge that they spread inside of the organization or whatever, but it's people inside or people outside your organization. And in some organizations, we call them stakeholders. Now, what you need to do is to define which stakeholders are the most important on your playground. And what you can do, if you draw two bars up and down and from left to right, horizontal and vertically, you can put the people or the stakeholders in the squares where you think they are present. So where do they have impact on your playground? In which quadrants? And if you do that, you will have an insight in who is in which quadrant, what do they contribute, are they positively or negatively influencing your playground. So you can add a plus or a minus. And you could say, for instance, consumers, most of the time, most likely, and retailers are in the top right. They contribute to more revenues and they're externally. They're not owned by you. I used to work at a fashion company where we had our own stores. So you could say if you have your own retail stores, then they are owned by you. So they are your employees and they contribute to your revenue. So it depends on what type of organization you are, where these stakeholders are. And obviously you have people that cost money and you have suppliers that cost money because you need to buy stuff, add value to it, and then sell stuff again. So you will see probably you'll have at least 4 stakeholders in the 4 quadrants that you have where people contribute value or they deduct value from your organization as a whole. Now you need to define who are the most important, who's the top 3 game changers on that playground. So then you want to define what probably the objective for your organization as a whole is. And you can play this game with about 4 or 6 people in your organization, maybe someone from purchase department, maybe for someone from sales, HR, learning and development, the CEO, most likely, marketing and sales, and see what the playground really looks like, and then try to define which is our most important target group that we need to influence, and what do we want to achieve with them, what do we want to make them do. So if you have that goal clear, then you have the organizational objective. But that's not enough. That's probably a too strategic goal to simply translate into a game or a gamification system. So the next step would be to peel the onion, and we're going to do that using the GameStorm methodology. And I will give you an assignment in the next video how the GameStorm really works.